The madness has arrived. That is right. It is that time of March, and we are going to talk some college hoops today. We got that, and we got a couple other record-breaking deals going down here in the NFL that we're going to get into as well. But this episode is brought to you by Huga House. Looking for top-of-the-line quality hats, beanies, long sleeves, and hoodies at a competitive price? Check out Huga House and use code FLAG15 for 15% off your purchase. That's FLAG15 for 15% off at checkout. Worn by people such as Aaron Rodgers, Shane Gillis, Shohei Ohtani, Josh Allen, and more. Shop Huga House today. And before you do that, please take the 4 seconds to just scroll down a little bit, hit that little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. It is free of charge, and it absolutely is a huge benefit and really helps us grow. So we greatly appreciate if you would do that for us, please. But Jordan, what's up, bro?
What's going on, my guy?
Oh man, the madness is flowing through my veins. This is like the main time that I watch college hoops. Like I've watched conference tournament week, obviously, but I don't really get into college hoops until like the NBA or not, excuse me, the NFL season ends. But man, it is all that is on my brain right now. But first, we will get the NFL stuff out of the way because that is clearly going to be the smaller of the two things we're going to talk about. So we'll get into Jamar Chase and T. Higgins first. I posted my blind reaction on TikTok, but you can go ahead and say yours. I'll reiterate mine.
I guess the Bengals are okay with scoring 70 points a game. And their opponent scoring 70 points as well. Because that's my main reaction to this. Who are they going to sign on the defensive side of the ball?
Allegedly, they're trying to keep Trey Hendrickson.
If they keep Trey Hendrickson, I know the cap doesn't exist, bro. There's no way. Well, I don't think it's so much that they don't have the cap as it's just them being stingy like they always are. They're not really a franchise that usually pays their players, so this is like unprecedented.
Yeah,
but
Mike
I think
Brown's
they know
Velcro wallet disintegrated when he
they
handed
don't
out those
want to
checks.
make Joey B unhappy because the second you do that, you're cooked. So they had to do
Well,
what
like
they had
he
to do.
never does interviews, but this offseason he was like going around on like a presidential campaign, just like campaigning for everyone to get signed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you
Rightfully
knew he
so.
meant business. Yeah.
Yeah, no. That was, I think the trio complements each other very well. Not saying that those two couldn't, do well anywhere else, but just the fact that they're on the same team, I feel like they help each other out.
Well, you got to think. So they have 120 million tied up into 3 players. That means they have 50 players for 160 million. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're going to figure that out. If you do the math on that, that's a little over 3 million a player.
They're not doing Trey. I don't think they're going to get a trade deal done.
And here's the crazier part. If they do Trey for 30 a year, let's say, that's 150 of your 280 million cap. So that's what, 130 left for 49 other players?
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible.
Yeah, it's insane. Unless they're going to ask for some restructures and some pay cuts, maybe they'll make it work, but
That'll
I
hurt
don't
them
know.
in the long run.
Oh, it
too.
definitely will, which I have no complaints about, but
That's what I said on TikTok. Like, initially, I was just like, God damn it. Like, I don't want to have to play Jamar Chase and T. Higgins again because Jamar goes for 200 yards every game against the Ravens. But then I thought about it of how, like, okay, so they paid these 3. Who else are they going to pay? Because they've already cut a bunch of people. So, unless they literally nail every single one of their draft picks, there's no way they're going to be competitive.
yeah,
They're going to be like how they were this year.
yeah. I see the same. I see it working out like that as well.
I think they're the only team like in NFL history that has scored like 30 points in 4 games and lost.
Yeah, there's a
Lost
couple
all of
records
them.
that they broke last year that weren't good records to break. But yeah, I mean, as far as the offense is concerned, I think this is something that I guess you could say they had to do. I think they would have been fine just signing Chase and trying to get another receiver, but
Nah, they should have just kept Chase and traded T.
that's what I'm saying. You should have just
That's what
traded
I
T
would've
while you
done.
had the chance. T would have probably signed an extension to wherever he went. Then you got Jamar locked up, and then everybody's happy. T got his money. He's the number 1 or whatever team he goes to. Jamar's still the number 1. Jamar still has generational wealth. It's still the highest paid non-quarterback.
Well, you got to think if they did this last year, it would have saved them $6 million per.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
why
don't-
it pays to pay early.
These contracts that everybody just got, I don't think it helped either. I think even the DK contract hurt, knowing that he got 30+ mil a year.
But you're not paying anyone, so that's not a big deal.
True.
You're only paying TJ and Minka, and I guess Cam technically counts.
Yeah, His isn't like a crazy deal though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
So unless you start paying a quarterback $50 million, I don't really think it hurts you yet.
I wonder what if A-Rod comes, what would he be and end up paying him? My thing, I feel like it would be in the realm of 30 to 35.
He said he wanted what Sam Darnold got,
Ugh.
which is 33. So
Yeah.
you actually hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, for a year, I guess so. But I don't. I guess I don't know if he was signing 1 year. I feel like he was signing a 1 year deal. 1 year, 30 mil,
Yeah.
33 mil.
Can you imagine, like, initially, like, before he came to that number, he probably was thinking, like, 50. He goes in and tells Omar Khan he wants 50 mil, and Omar Khan said, "What?"
No.
It was like, what?
No, dog.
50?
Heck no. Heck no. I'm surprised that
man.
we've even still been in the sweepstakes. I'm surprised we didn't just nut up and be like, all right, we're just gonna sign Russ back. Like there
No.
really must be something going on behind the scenes for it to go drag on this long. Has to be.
So, allegedly,
I just saw this
allegedly.
today. I think I know what you're about to talk about.
he is waiting on the Vikings to make their decision about J.J. McCarthy, whether they want him to start this year or not.
I
So
saw
makes-
that.
That makes
I
me
think
think
that's
that he
already-
wants to sign with Minnesota, and then if that falls through, he's going to sign with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think that's already like. Of course, we don't know for sure because they still have. I don't know. This could drag out till the draft or even a little bit past. You never know, but just what it's looking like now, I feel like if Minnesota wanted to do that, they already would. Like you got to see what you have in J.J. McCarthy. He's been sitting 2 years. Kevin O'Connell,
1
we
year.
already know is a quarterback guru. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think you have to see what you got in the young kid. He's only 22 years old. Just see what you got in him.
I'm a
and
massive J.J. McCarthy guy. So
if
I'm
Sam
totally cool
Darnold
with
can
it.
go out there and do that, just see what your young quarterback can go do with your stacked roster. You know what I'm saying? You put
yeah.
him in position to succeed. It's not like you guys are the Panthers or anything like that. I could see why you would try to ease him in there. But with the roster you got and the coach that you have, let that young man go in there and see what he can do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
what was
yeah.
the point of drafting him if not?
That's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of J.J. McCarthy,
I'm cool with this.
Mm-hmm.
like, I think, like, it's his time. It's Kevin O'Connell's offense. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
is the most sugar-coated offense you could have.
Exactly.
So,
You got Sam
I'm here
Darnold
for
out here
it.
throwing for 30-plus touchdowns.
dude, what the hell is Seattle doing?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't even know, like, because they were like, I said this on TikTok, like, they were doing, like, rebuild mode moves of, like, we're trading Geno, we're trading DK, we're going to get top 100 picks, and we're going to, like, start rebuilding this thing. But then they signed Sam Darnold, and they signed Cooper Kupp, and they signed Tank Lawrence. I'm like, what are you doing? You're not ready. It's like the meme of that Bugatti outside of a trailer.
I don't know.
Like, they aren't ready. Their trenches are horrific. Defensive line's not as bad. I take that back. Defensive line's not bad. But the offensive line is bottom 5. You're not doing shit without a better offensive line, in my opinion.
Are they in the teens for their picks? Because they won a good amount of games, so I'm pretty sure
I think
that
they're
they're
like
fairly.
right before you.
Yeah, they're fairly high up, I believe.
I think they're like 19 or something.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That sounds
19
right.
to 20, something like that. So
Yeah, that sounds right.
unless they trade up, I don't know if they're going to get like a game changer on the line, and I don't even know if that one person would change life. Well, they could, because Quentin Nelson did the same thing. But like, unless you're getting a prospect that's that good, which I don't think you're getting out of this draft, I don't know.
I've heard that a lot of teams are down on the offensive line class this year.
Yeah, it's very top heavy from what I've seen this year, and even at the top, it's not like you have that generational person. You don't have like a Panay Sewell. You don't have a Quentin Nelson.
Sewell, that dude,
Yeah.
we knew coming straight out of
Yeah,
college.
you don't have a
He
Joe
was
Alt in this class. You don't have
Yeah.
any of that, so I can
Yeah.
understand why they're low.
I remember when Panay Sewell was coming out, and everyone was saying the Bengals should have drafted him over Jamar Chase. Which either way, they still would have won.
I think the Chase was the right pick. Honestly, I think.
But I'm saying like it's not like Panay Sewell was like Eric Fisher, you know, like he's still they would have been fine either way.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh,
I think
man.
Jamar was the right choice though, for
Yeah,
them.
I mean hindsight,
Yeah.
yeah.
For the way they play their play style.
But you mentioned earlier about Aaron Rodgers, and one of your captains, he put it on the table today, to say the least.
Yeah.
He
Now I will say, it very much was taken out of context, which I knew it would have. Because if you actually watch the clip, his co-host asked him, like he gave him a scenario, and he was like, "All right, Aaron Rodgers says you got to go on the darkness retreat with him. In order to convince him to join the team, what are you saying? Are you going to the darkness retreat?" And then he proceeds to be like, "No, I'm not going on the darkness retreat. This is the pitch." And then he just says what he says. So like, it wasn't like
he
just
you either want to be a Steeler or you don't. And I said,
yeah. So it's not like. It wasn't like animosity when you watched the clip. So I kind of knew that when he said it, though, that it was just going to get cut off and taken out of context. But it is what it is.
The
like,
beef is starting in Pittsburgh before he even signs.
And then you also got to go back to when Deshaun Elliott was like, keep him in the retirement home or something like that. So like, I don't think that'll deter him because I feel like Aaron has a sense of humor, and Aaron is one of those type of people. Like, he's a jerk himself, so like, I don't know if that would like affect him that much. I feel like he would think it's funny, especially since he posted up with Deshaun Elliott for a pick because they go to the same training facility. I don't know if you saw that. So like, even after Deshaun said that, he posted up a flick with him. So like, I don't think Aaron would take that to heart. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that would sway him joining us or not.
Hey, man, you guys made a game-changing signing today that wasn't Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you saw that. You guys got Juan Thornhill. You're going to the bowl.
That one clip of him getting cooked that I keep circulating on Twitter, bro, is geeking me. If I see that clip one more time, bro, I'm not going to lie. That's one of the worst clips I've ever seen of somebody getting cooked. That was almost as bad as the Earl Thomas clip when freaking Derrick Henry turned him into a lead blocker. That was bad, man.
Well, congratulations.
Like,
We
got
a
wash.
You got Juan Thornhill. You got Juan Thornhill.
If this was Juan Thornhill from like 3 years ago, I would have been hyped. This is not Juan Thornhill from 3 years ago, my guy.
I think I've given more effort in the NFL than Juan Thornhill has the past couple years.
Well, I'm hoping
just collected checks.
I'm hoping this is one of those scenarios where it's like he's got a fire under him because everybody's been dogging him. But
I just saw on TikTok earlier today. He's still dancing. Have fun.
Oh yeah, with the hat. When he took the thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's corny. I got freaking Juju at safety. What the freak?
That was Russell Wilson app type of TikTok.
Oh, it hurt my soul. I think the worst Russell Wilson TikTok I saw. Do you remember when he got the bag from the Broncos and he posted up in the bed with?
Let's ride.
No, not even that. When he posted up in the bed with Sierra. And had like his Barry White voice. He was like, just woke up. Just want to say thanks to the Broncos for the. I was like, yo, this dude here. Oh my gosh.
I told Haley the other day. I said Russell Wilson gives me the vibes that he refers to himself in the third person.
Mr. Unlimited.
He like goes back to the sideline, and they're like, "What the hell was that throw?" He's like, "Well, what Russell saw was this."
Russ saw the streak, so he threw the streak. George Pickens
Russ threw the go ball, and Pickens cut in.
George got to stop taking people's helmets off and catch the ball, and maybe Russ wouldn't have slow incompletions.
He was sitting there next to Justin Fields. He was like, "Well, what Russ would tell you in this situation is."
Dog. I might punch him in the face. I might punch him in the face myself. I'm not gonna lie. You remember when Sean Payton was about to fight him on the sidelines? That would have been me.
That was a valid crash out. Don't even.
Yo, I've been watching clips of that. It's so funny. And it was somebody else too. It was like, oh gosh, was it like Cliff Averill or somebody? It was, I forgot. I think it was when he was on the Seahawks. I don't know if it was on the Broncos. No, it was when he was on the Broncos. One of their D linemen was about to fight Russ. Do you remember that?
I'm sure.
During the game, I want to say it was during the Dolphins game when they got 70 dropped on their head. Yo, I'm not even joking. Like it was like their DN or somebody wanted to tussle, bro. Like he running up on Russ, and they had to like really like get him off, bro. Like it was crazy.
Oh my gosh,
it was crazy.
Well, you know how he doesn't give his phone number to his teammates. So imagine someone wants to like call him, and he's like, "Actually, you need to talk to Russell's agent."
Marshawn ain't want that man's number though. Marshawn did not want that man's number.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that can see him being that kind of person.
Dog, Russ is corny to me. I'm not
Can you
saying that
imagine
he's a bad
he's
guy.
sitting in the facility. He's like, yeah, Russell, take a red Gatorade, please.
Yeah, I think he's less of a cancer than Aaron, but he's a little phony. I'm not like I don't think he's a bad guy by any means, but he's a little phony,
For
just a little
most of
bit.
his career, I've said he's more of a politician than a quarterback.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not gonna say
all
he's
he
a
does,
bad
he
guy.
just goes around and kisses babies and gives empty promises all year.
You can't be a bad guy being Sierra's husband, boy, because you know Future was all up in that. Boy, I couldn't do it. He's a strong man. He's a strong man. I
And
gotta,
yet
I gotta give him this.
he's raising a kid named Future too. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Talking about son. Ain't your kid? That's not my son. He ain't come out my nutsack.
Bro,
What?
I was listening to some podcast the other day. They were talking about like a team. I can't remember what team it was. They were talking about the Titans and their like terrible future. And they were like, "Don't worry, Russell Wilson will raise that future too."
Where did you see that on? Where did you see that on? Because that is hilarious.
It was on Pardon My Take like a few weeks ago.
Okay. Yo, he'll raise
Shout
that
out,
future too is crazy.
Shout out PFT, man.
Yo,
That dude's a legend.
that's insane.
I aspire to be half the podcaster that PFT commenter is.
He'll raise that future too. That's good.
But speaking of raising futures, Derek Stingley got a record-setting contract from the Texans the past few days, and he got it 2 years early.
I'm about to say that's the weird part. Like, I guess they got ahead of the curve before.
Oh, they
I don't know
definitely did.
what other corners are going to be up in a couple years, but
I love this move for them.
yeah.
Because
Initially, I was like, but then I remember that he turned it on last season. Like, he was a little disappointing to start off his career, but he turned it on.
it's not even about that. It was like the Texans made the right move here because like as soon as J.C. Horn signed for $25 million, you know Nick Caserio was in his office like
What?
and then immediately called Stingley's agent and was like, "Hey, bro, how's 30?"
Yeah, we're going to get this done now.
Because here's the thing: if J.C. Horn's getting 25 a year, Derek Stingley, when he's healthy, is way better than J.C. Horn. No disrespect to J.C.
I don't even know if JC's top 10 if I count them off in my hand.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, if JC's getting 25, they just locked up Stingley for 30. Imagine in 2 years when Stingley's up, that's probably like 35 to 40. I mean, who knows what the salary cap's going to be? So they definitely just saved themselves like $5-10 million a year down the line.
Oh, yeah, I like the move.
Yeah.
And he's only, what, 22? 23? Excuse me. That's a great move.
I know he's young. I don't know how young, but yeah,
he's
he's
like
somewhere
23.
in there. Yeah, he's young, and he's good when he's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it for him. It keeps him in Houston for the next 5 years. They got to figure out what they're doing because I don't know.
What's crazy is, like, their fall from grace in a sense. Because I feel like they weren't supposed to be as good as they were CJ's rookie year, especially
I think
watching
it's
the
time
preseason.
to admit that CJ Stroud covered up a lot
Oh,
of
he
red
did.
flags.
It's the same. It's the Jordan Love argument. I thought Jordan Love was great for what was going on in Green Bay. His receivers were so inconsistent. His offensive line play was inconsistent. The team itself was inconsistent. And I'm not saying that he's the best quarterback because we know he has his inconsistencies too. But as far as like, I put them in the same category as far as like what they had to go through last year because I feel like with the talent that they had, it was either injuries or inconsistent play, and the both of them had to like try to. I'm not saying they can't, because definitely elevated their team for what it could have been. But I think it also reflected in the stat sheet because, you know, completion percentage down, touchdowns down, all that sort of thing. But
yeah. I mean, CJ Stroud, like he covered up a lot of red flags for them, and those red flags came to show this past season. So I'm intrigued to see what they do since they traded Laramie and they let a lot of guys go. So, I mean, Houston, they're just like Seattle. I'm just so confused.
What the hell going on?
I've been
I don't
seeing
know what's
stuff.
going on.
I think this is Texans fans just coping, but I don't know if you've been seeing the same stuff. I've been seeing stuff where people have been like, Laramie Tunsil's kind of washed. Like, they traded for him like on the back end. I'm just saying what I saw from Texans, and it's only been Texans fans that I've been seeing it from, and I feel like they're just coping.
They're coping.
Okay,
Like
that's all I've been seeing.
I'll give him that he gets a lot of penalties, but when he's not getting a penalty, he's great.
Yeah, that's all I've been seeing, and I'm like, are they on to something, or is it? Because they wanted to show the same highlight of him getting blown up like one time, and I'm like, people get blown up. It's the NFL. You're not going to win every rep. You're going against world class.
Not to mention
athletes.
he was their highest graded offensive line by far last year.
Yeah, you're going against world class athletes every play. Even if you're the cream of the crop, you're gonna get beat.
I agree. He has more of his good years are behind him than ahead of him because
that doesn't mean he's still not.
I'll give him that, but he still will be good for the life of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just coping. I think that's a massive W for Commanders fans.
I agree. I just wanted to know your take on it because I saw that everywhere.
Oh yeah. No, Tunsil's a dog. I would say he's probably like top 3 left tackle.
Yeah. I do have one more thing I want to go into before we pivot. Did you see the report about New England?
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going. Okay. Which report?
The report that New England didn't want like a demanding veteran.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean,
it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't at the same time because what are you gonna do?
I mean, Josh Allen, he won MVP after they got rid of their diva receiver.
Different. Very, very different.
Sure.
He was already developed by then.
Sure, apples and oranges, I'll give you that, but it's relatively the same.
Okay, but there's divas. There's like a little bit, because you can't tell me that Devontae Adams is more of a diva than Stephon Diggs.
No, but you also got to think,
I think
it's
there's
Mike
levels to
Vrabel. Receiver speaks out once, and he's like, get him out.
Yeah, because he's part of that Belichick tree, but still, I get it.
They might just be coping that they didn't win the sweepstakes.
I think that's what it is. You need help. There's no way you're like, oh, we didn't want a diva receiver anyway.
We want his dumbass anyways.
So why didn't you go get Cooper Kupp? Like, what are we talking about here? You're not making any sense.
Dumbass either.
It's not making sense if you're talking about a demanding veteran presence when you got Cooper Kupp, who is probably the least demanding, still decent, well, still good, veteran receiver out there.
I heard he turned down more money to go to Seattle because he's from Washington State.
Which would make sense. Maybe he's closer to family over there.
And he also might just be a West Coast guy since he's from there.
That's true.
So
that too.
And Massachusetts, that definitely doesn't help either.
Mm-hmm.
So that is our NFL talk. Let's get into college hoops. And I would just like to go on a tangent real quick. I'm sure you've heard of this, but I got to stand on business real quick. Okay. I will start by prefacing this. Okay. If you are a West Virginia fan or an Indiana fan, yes, I admit you got screwed. Not just screwed. You got royally screwed. Like, you should send a bill to the NCAA because they should at least buy you dinner before they finish the sentence in your head.
Give us the rundown. Give us the rundown. I've mostly been following like Duke because of Cooper Flag and
you know the quad stuff, right? Quad 1, quad 2, quad 3.
Yeah, yeah.
So West Virginia had 6 quad 1 wins, including beating number 3 in the country, Iowa State, in Iowa State. Mm-hmm. And they beat Kansas, who was ranked. And they ain't getting the tournament. Indiana had like 4 quad 1 wins. Both of those teams did not lose to quad 3 or quad 4 at all. And my Tar Heels only had 1 quad win, which was against UCLA, and they had a quad 3 loss. So, like I said,
what's the talent discrepancy here between you guys and them?
Well, West Virginia's coach is absolutely better. I still think that they're a better team, but we have more talent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, of course that makes sense.
So, I think West Virginia absolutely should have been in rather than North Carolina. I did not expect to make the tournament. Okay, putting it out there. West Virginia, Indiana, I feel sorry for you, okay? I genuinely, you guys should have been in the tournament, okay? I will start it with that.
Because you weren't too high when the season started, I remember.
No, because our coach is absolutely ass, and we some reason gave him an extension. But for all the haters online who are saying that we are going to stink it up in the tournament, I got one thing for you, brother.
Go fuck yourself!
That's correct, okay? We are here, okay? It doesn't matter if we should have been here or not, okay? We are going to win tonight. By the time people see this, this will probably age like milk, but I'm going to stand on business because this is before the game, and I got to ride or die with the squad.
Oh, yeah,
Going to
you
beat
got to.
San Diego State tonight. Probably going to lose to Ole Miss, but you know what? I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But there are a lot of people, including the people on Selection Sunday, who were like, North Carolina shouldn't be in the tournament. And then, like, they come back from commercial break. Let me tell you why North Carolina could make the Sweet 16 this year. I'm like, which side are you on? Like, what are we doing? So,
Let me tell you that
yes,
fix all your problems.
I'm happy we made the tournament. No, I didn't. I don't think we should have made the tournament. But now that we're here, I obviously want us to make a run. So, I have my bracket filled out.
Your problems.
What? Firing Hubert Davis?
And Bill Belichick coaching both basketball and football.
He would be better than Hubert Davis.
Yo.
I will give Hubert his flowers, though. Okay, Jalen Withers, he has been huge for us down the stretch because we've been hot lately. Huge for us down the stretch. His three-point shooting has come out of nowhere. But he committed a free throw violation, like the lane violation, on the game-tying free throw that knocked us out of the ACC tournament. So, but Hubert Davis stood by Jalen's side his entire post-game press conference to make sure no reporter asked him nothing crazy. So I will give Hubert his flowers for that. He is a player's coach, and the guys do love him. Like, the players do love him. But I don't know if he can't recruit or if he doesn't know tactics or what's going on there. Because other than that, he is so bad. He's so bad. I hate him. I hate him so much, dude.
Yo. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was funny.
I have my bracket here on my phone filled out. I have them. God, now I'm lost.
I'm about to say I got the
here we
entire
go.
bracket pulled up, so take.
So
us
we're
through
in the south, and we're playing Ole Miss, 6
Okay.
seed Ole Miss. I have us losing that game. I picked against us.
Hold up. Oh, I'm
Normally
looking now.
I would-
Sorry, I was in the Midwest. I'm good.
Oh
now.
no, you're good. Yeah, so
Right.
I'm in the South right now. So I have Auburn beating whoever they play. I have Louisville beating Creighton, but that game was such a coin flip for me. Like, I literally just gave it to Louisville just because they're close to Kentucky, and this could be like a home game. I have Michigan beating UC San Diego, but they're definitely on upset watch. UC San Diego's won 15 games in a row, so you tell me if you want to play them.
That seems like a real riser right there. Oh, geez.
And it's the classic 12-5 upset too, so we got to be on the lookout for that. I have A&M beating Yale, but A&M is really weak right now. Ole Miss, obviously. Iowa State beating Lipscomb, even though Iowa State is injured. I have New Mexico beating Marquette. That's like a coin flip game for a lot of people. And then I have Michigan State too. And then I picked Louisville to upset Auburn because they got to be these teams got to be knocked out at some point. And it'll be in Lexington, I believe. It's somewhere in Kentucky that's not Louisville. So I think Auburn's going to have a road game as the number 1 seed in the whole tourney. So I was like, you got to pick your upsets, man. You got to try and call your shots. So I did that. I had Michigan beating A&M and then Ole Miss beating Iowa State because Ole Miss has one of the best coaches in the country, Chris Beard. I know he did some questionable stuff off the court. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about on the court. He's one of the best coaches in the country. Then I have Michigan State beating New Mexico. And then I have it set up in the Elite Eight, a Michigan State game. I think that would be sick.
That would be sick.
That would be so sick. And I
That
have
would be
Michigan
very
State
sick.
winning that too because I'm very high on Michigan State this year. I don't have them winning it all, but I am high on them. So that's a quarter of my Final Four. Who do you have coming out of the South?
I'm kind of gonna. I think we're gonna roll with the. Oh shoot! Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right.
Because Auburn's the number 1 seed in the whole tourney, but they're coming
How
in
have they
a
been
little
performing
weak.
as far as like the year's been? I haven't seen too much Auburn this year. I've seen a little bit of Louisville, so that's why I'll.
They
take
started
them.
off really, really hot, but lately they're kind of like limping into it. Now, I don't know
Okay.
if it's because of injuries or bad play, but I heard they're limping into it. And then Michigan, they lost 3 in a row,
I'll take
but then
them beating.
they've won their last 6 straight. And then Michigan State is like a football team on hardwood.
Even though San Diego's been hot, it seems like from what I think Michigan's ending off.
Both
on the
teams
right
are
foot
hot,
side.
so it
That's
could
what I'm
go
saying.
either way.
I think Michigan's ended off on the right foot, so I feel like,
Both teams are hot.
which is why I feel like it's gonna be a good game. Is this tonight, right?
Tonight is North Carolina, San Diego State, and then American and South Alabama. I think it's Alabama South.
You're nervous for
I think.
tonight.
I am and I'm not. Like, we should beat San Diego State, considering that we're a blue blood basketball school, and San Diego State is known for Kawhi Leonard. So,
yo, fair enough.
like, we should win. If we lose to San Diego State, we definitely did not deserve to be here at all. So, that's just my.
You know, I like
personal
upsets. I'll go San Diego over Michigan. Texas and Yale. You said South, right?
Yeah, I'm in the South. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about San Diego State. I was about to be pissed.
No. You were like, oh.
Hey, Yale's got a good squad, so you got to be on the lookout for them. Them Ivy League teams are smart.
You know, I just like to shake it up. I don't want to go straight upsets though, because I feel like that's kind of boring. So I'll go Texas.
I feel like this is going to be a very chalk year, and my
You think
bracket
this
reflects that.
You think this is gonna be one of those years where like the bracket gets busted in like the first round?
If it does, it's going to be either San Diego or Yale. Well, hang on. Let me look at Colorado State. I have Drake. I have going to the Sweet 16. This is a little teaser for down the line. Those could be technically bracket busters. I also have, let's see if I have any other upsets. I have Vandy beating St. Mary's. I don't know if a 10-7 counts. Oh, I have VCU beating BYU. And then, yeah. So those are all the upsets I have in the first round. So I guess you can consider some of them a bracket buster. But mine's going to go down with Louisville and Creighton because I knew whoever I picked in that game, the opposite was going to win. So my bracket's going down with that game. And you want to know which game that is?
What?
Game 1 on Thursday. Literally the first game of the tournament. And my bracket is going to...
You know what's crazy? Every year, it's always like that one... And I honestly think it'd be rigged sometimes. But you know how every year there's always like that one super fan or that one like billionaire who has like a crazy bracket and just gets like every pick right?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
proceeds to make like a surplus or whatever. Like, I feel like...
You want to hear something crazy about brackets? So I forget what the number is, but you have a 1 in something like quadrillion chance of getting the perfect bracket or whatever.
That's crazy, first off.
So the statistic is that you are more likely to hit the Powerball twice in the same year than you are to get a perfect bracket ever.
If that's the case, where my money at?
Right. That's just how difficult it is with a perfect
Where
bracket.
my money at?
The point is just to try and last as long as you can and try to correctly predict who's winning it.
Yeah, man. Oh my.
So you got who you got coming out of the South? You never answered.
Okay, I was on Texas A&M and Yale, right?
Yeah,
you want me
I
to
don't
go
know.
by game, or you want me to just go straight?
It's up to you. I don't know how much you have like analysis wise for your bracket, but if you just want to go straight to who's in your Final Four, if you don't really have much analysis, you can do that. It's up to you.
Yeah. Think I'll go. I'm looking at the bracket now.
We're filling it out before tip off for those marks out there who are going to be like, oh, they got to see the games.
Yeah, the time is 6:12 Eastern Standard Time, so I don't want to hear
Goddamn
nothing
marks.
from none of y'all.
Hey, all you marks out there.
Go fuck yourself!
Yeah, thank you. Okay, proceed.
Okay. Definitely. You know what? Give me Louisville Final Four. I'll take them beating Auburn.
I'm drunk as hell. Okay. You got that St. Patty's hangover.
Yo,
Okay.
I was drinking.
If Louisville goes to the Final Four, like, I will actually like pull up to your house and apologize.
Why not, man? Why not? We're gonna go.
All right, you ready for the West?
You know I'm taking Duke.
Oh, you want to go to the East? Okay, we can go to the East. So I have Duke winning no matter who they play. I have Baylor beating Mississippi State, although I'm not entirely confident in that pick. Oregon beating Liberty. That's a 12-5, so I never feel good about those. Arizona beating Akron. Your poor Zips are going to get that ass whooped
LeBron James, I hope you're watching.
I have VCU beating BYU 11-6. VCU is just one of those scrappy, like, mid-major programs that are coming in hot and can shoot the lights out. I got Wisconsin beating Montana. I have Vanderbilt beating St. Mary's. Is 10-7 considered an upset?
I don't think so. Not in my opinion.
Okay. All right. And then I have Alabama beating Robert Morris. You want to know who's my favorite team to root for that's not Maryland or North Carolina?
Are you going to say Robert Morris?
No. They're not in the tournament this year,
Oh,
unfortunately.
they're not in the tournament. You said that's not Maryland?
That's not Maryland or North Carolina. I don't know if you're going to guess it because it's strictly for the meme.
I don't know.
Oral Roberts.
Why does it sound familiar? What is that?
Because that was the Doug Edert guy with the mustache. No.
Strictly for the meme.
I love rooting for that team because then, like, when they're playing, you can go around telling people, like, hey, which team are you rooting for? I'm rooting for Blowjob Bob University.
Blowjob Bob University. And they might know what you talk about, too. That's the funny part.
You know what's crazy is that one year in the tournament, it was the most legendary internet matchup of all time. We had Oral Roberts versus Moorhead. It was the greatest matchup in NCAA tournament history.
That reminds me of those two guys in the NBA. We keep going back to it. The jerseys. Was it one black and then
Grady Dick, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said his full name because I was just gonna say the last name.
I knew you didn't know his first name, so I was
this whole YouTube thing was gonna get demonetized if I just said the last name.
Yeah, Grady Dick, part of the exciting whites movement. Okay, moving on. I have Duke beating Baylor, and then Oregon beating Arizona. That game could go either way, but I like the Ducks this year, especially because that's who my fiance is pulling for, because she just likes that they're Ducks. So that's naturally one of her favorite teams.
Are their basketball uniforms as extensive as their football uniforms?
Oh, you better believe it. Moving on. So. VCU and Wisconsin. I think this game's going to be a nail-biter, but I really like Wisconsin this year, so I picked them, but I didn't like that I had to pick them because I really thought VCU could make a run. And then I picked Bama over Vanderbilt. I think that's Nick Saban owns them, so even though he's not basketball-related, I still think that ownership translates to basketball. And then I have Duke beating Oregon in the Sweet 16, and then I have Wisconsin taking down Bama. I think Bama is too streaky, and I want to say their big man's out for the tournament, Grant Nelson, and he like totally transforms their offense. Let me see if there's an update at time of recording, because if he's out, then that definitely cooks them. Let's see what pops up in the news. Okay, that didn't help. All right, let's see what we got here. Everyone, all these things, it says they get positive news, but okay, so he's expected to be questionable for the round 1 game. So
he's playing.
He suffered a leg injury though, and he's tall, so
leg meaning
it's his knee.
Oh, I don't know then. You know those are iffy, especially when you're tall.
Yeah, so he's there, and he's not big like. Thick either. He ain't no Zion, so
ain't no Zion. It's crazy.
So
Zion eat his Wheaties.
I think if Grant Nelson doesn't play in the Sweet 16, I think Wisconsin beats them. And even if he does play, I don't think he's going to be 100%. I think Wisconsin's just going to overpower them, especially if Bama has a cold shooting night too, because you know they're very streaky. And then I have Duke beating Wisconsin in the Elite Eight. I will say, Cooper Flagg, a lot rides on this. If he for some reason re-aggravates it, or he's out for the tournament or anything. Cooked. Yeah, I don't even know if they're going to beat Oregon. They're definitely not going to beat Wisconsin.
Yeah,
because they have another major player that's out too.
For those of y'all out there, I know the Duke hate is real. I'm not a Duke fan, but
the Duke hate is real.
I am a Cooper Flagg fan. I understand the Duke.
Oh,
you're a UNC guy, so I understand. But even outside of you, Duke hate is real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I'm not a Duke fan. Let me preface that.
I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here.
Yeah. I'm just saying that Cooper Flagg's a dog, and the fact that he's only 18 is crazy to me.
I love his nickname.
What's his nickname?
The Main Event, because he's from Maine.
I actually like that. That's not
I
bad.
know. And he has that thick ass accent too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
You
no.
know he's prepared.
Prepared. Oh my
Prepared.
gosh.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
But I have Duke in the Final Four. Where do you want to go next? Do your East picks too.
Okay.
Who you got coming out of the East? Wait, you already said Duke. Do you want to break it
yeah.
down, or you just want to ride with that?
Out of the East, I'm still taking Duke.
Okay.
Oh,
You
as
wanna
long as
break anything down?
Cooper Flag's healthy.
Of course.
Yeah.
You want to break anything down, or you want to move on?
Let's move on.
Okay. Where do you want to go next? West or Midwest?
Let's go West.
West.
Then we'll go to
okay.
Midwest. We'll go,
So-
bang, 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 bang.
I know Mike Vick just took over their football program, but Florida is going to absolutely humiliate Norfolk State.
Mm-hmm.
Florida is arguably the most talented team. I would probably say second to Duke in terms of just pure talent. They are white hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot put enough emphasis on how hot this team is right now. They hung 100 points on Bama in the SEC semifinals. They beat them by 30 in the SEC semifinals. And if you don't remember, Bama's a 2 seed. And they 30 pieced them. They hung 100 in college. Do you know how hard that is?
Very much so, because them have to be like,
Yeah, and they put 100 on them in the SEC semifinals.
that's rough.
They are like, I cannot put enough emphasis on how hot Florida is
That's
right
real
now.
rough.
They
That's rough.
steamrolled.
I can
through
see
that.
why they were, okay. I can see where you're coming from then.
And
Most
then
definitely.
I have UConn beating Oklahoma, and then I have Colorado State upsetting Memphis because Colorado State's hot right now, and I believe they just beat Memphis recently, so I'm calling that upset. Number 4, Maryland against Grand Canyon. You know we're riding for the Terps, baby. Show that hoodie.
always.
I see it on you.
Oh
Show
yeah,
it
y'all
off.
already know what it is.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like the fact that we just lost off of Easy's layup.
Dude, they were
Did you watch
so
that game?
scared of. Yes, of course I watched that game. They were so scared of fouling that guy. They just let him go right to the cup.
Yeah, I was talking. I was at. Oh my gosh, where was I? At a party with my girlfriend. Like her niece had a birthday, and just family got together, and we had watched a little bit of the game beforehand.
I will say Maryland's weakness is that they're very top heavy. Like their starting 5 is sensational, but their bench is extremely lacking. So to beat Maryland, if they get in foul trouble, then they might be cooked.
Yeah.
They have a guy who's going to be a lottery pick this year, though, which is pretty sick. Derek Queen, got to watch out for him. But I do have them winning. I have Drake beating Missouri. So this is a very conflict of styles, like very, very conflict of styles. So, pace of play, the statistic. Missouri's top 5 in pace of play, like how fast they play. Drake's bottom 5.
So okay. They don't like that
So
tempo that much.
I picked Drake. I think they're going to slow this down. Missouri turns the ball over a lot, and Drake obviously slaps the floor on defense. So I picked Drake. I think they.
Yeah, what's crazy is, as soon as he said that, I imagined like,
And we've seen it a million times. You slap the wood, and you're like, yeah. And
yeah,
they blow
that's
right
exactly
by
why I
you.
started
And
laughing.
They blow right by you.
Bro, I started thinking about this. Hilarious.
And then I got Texas Tech beating UNC Wilmington. That's a 3-14 matchup. Then we have Kansas and Arkansas. That could be the game of the best game of the first round. Like Bill Self versus John Calipari. I took Arkansas just because I hate Kansas. So we'll see. That game is honestly a coin flip. Like the percentages is 53-47. Like it's very close. And then I have St. John's beating the absolute breaks off of Omaha in the first round. Second round, I got Florida beating UConn. And then I have Maryland beating Colorado State in a nail-biter. I have Drake upsetting number 3 Texas Tech in the round of 32. And then I have St. John's beating Arkansas because Rick Pitino got them boys cooking this year.
And ready.
Dude, he has got them boys cooking. So then in the Sweet 16, I have Florida beating Maryland. I hate that Maryland had to face that steamroller. I have St. John's beating Drake. And then I got Florida and St. John's in the Elite 8, and I took Florida. But I think whoever wins that game is going to win the national championship between Florida and St. John's, personally. And then who do you have coming out of the West?
Who do I have coming out the West? Well, after you told me about Florida, you know,
Them Gators.
I'm definitely picking them Gators.
Them Gators is steamrolling.
You know what? I'm going with Maryland. I'm going. I got to. I'll never go
Maryland.
against my boys.
Okay.
I'll never go against my boys ever in life.
Right.
I'm not going against my boys, man.
Every year I create homer brackets for North Carolina and Maryland.
Got to, man. Got to.
So
I'm not
I
going
normally
against
do
my
3
boys.
brackets. I do a UNC bracket, a Maryland bracket, and then who I actually think is going to win bracket.
Fair enough.
All right, you got Maryland coming out of the. So who's your Final Four right now?
Out of the okay.
You said
Let's see.
Louisville, Duke, and Maryland.
Yeah, Louisville, Duke.
Holy shit!
Yo.
I have
snap.
Duke, Michigan State, and Florida. Very.
You better
chalk.
write this down. Write this
And
down.
don't worry, it's only gonna get chalkier.
Louisville,
All right.
Duke, Louisville. You gotta say it like that, like
Louisville.
Lamar Jackson. Louisville.
All right, and now we are down to the Midwest. So I have the 1 seed Houston beating whoever the hell SIU Edwards is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Gonzaga beating Georgia. Gonzaga as an 8 seed is criminal.
That's insane. I was like, as soon as you said it, my mind was just kind of like, what?
Yeah. And then I got Clemson beating McNeese. Got Purdue beating High Point. Illinois beating Texas or Xavier, whichever one wins. Illinois has NBA talent like crazy, so I picked them. And then Kentucky beating Troy. I have Utah State beating UCLA. And then I have Tennessee beating Wofford. Tennessee's the 2 seed in this bracket. Houston's the 1 seed.
All right, let me go over to the West. All right, I got it.
So then for my next round, I have Houston beating Gonzaga, Clemson beating Purdue, Illinois upsetting Kentucky, and then I have Tennessee beating Utah State, which leads to the Sweet 16 of Houston beating Clemson and Tennessee beating Illinois. Tennessee's a squad. I almost picked them, but I ended up picking Houston to go to the Final Four. So that makes it Duke, Houston, and then Michigan State and Florida. So who you got coming out of the Midwest?
All right. Well, I'm just going to start from who I picked out of each, and I'll let you know. So I got Florida. Right.
Yeah.
I got Duke. No,
Yep.
not Florida. I got Louisville.
Yep.
Duke.
Yep.
I got
Maryland.
Maryland.
Yep.
And Kentucky.
What?
They're a 3 seed, so it's not impossible. They would have to go
Kentucky.
through. They'd have to go through Tennessee and Houston though, which is tough.
I just like that one guard they got. I forgot his freaking name.
Okay, so who's going to the national championship? Who's gonna win the Final Four? And go to the Natty. I
Definitely
have
going
Duke
Duke.
and Florida. In
Definitely
the
going
Natty.
Duke.
Are we having a Duke and Maryland national championship?
Yeah, probably Duke and Maryland.
Oh, an old ACC rivalry.
That would be
dude in the Natty.
I would like that. Yeah.
And then for my Natty, I got them Gators beating.
because you know I'm not rooting against Maryland in that bracket. So
That's fair.
yeah.
I kind of hope Duke makes it to the Natty just to lose, just to see all their heartbreak. Like either lose in the first round or lose in the finals.
Facts.
I got them Gators.
To win it all, or just in
Yeah.
the championship? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
I
take
got them to win it all.
Okay. And who are they playing? I didn't. who
Duke.
was the
I got
second
them
team?
beating Duke in the finals.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And then for my tiebreaker, for those who cares, I picked 183. I think it's going to be a shootout.
That's a lot.
Both teams are prolific offenses. I can see both of them putting 90 up, to be honest. So who's winning?
I'm with you. It's just like me personally, I've never seen like a good college basketball game get that high scoring. That's me personally.
It's just because both those offenses are.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand your reasoning. So I'm not going against it. I'm with that. I'm just saying, in me, never seen it. It's
Yeah.
like a personal experience thing. That's why
fair.
I kind of was like,
I do think it's a little high, but like I thought it was a. I do think it's going to be a shootout.
no, I get that. I get that for sure.
I didn't want to be boring and pick something in the 140s.
I mean, I got Maryland going to the Natty. So.
You have them winning the Natty this year?
No, they're not winning. They're getting blown up by Duke.
Oh, man.
Cooper Flagg's going to break his own record.
Oh.
That's going to be tough.
All-American.
That's going to suck. That would
For
suck.
Maryland to make it all that way.
That would suck. Nah, I got to go there. Nah, Maryland's winning the whole thing, man. I can't do them like that. I can't.
And we present to you all Unk's Homer bracket.
I can't.
What a homer.
Nah, that's the final bracket. Ain't no other ones.
What a homer.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Oh,
like the
man.
most delusional homer bracket anybody's ever heard of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
so I cannot wait for March Madness to consume my life for the next week. So hopefully you get to catch up on some of the games, too.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be watching that one tonight.
Oh, I'm going to be watching
Yours.
all of them.
Y'all's. Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely.
I'll probably skip out on the first half. I'll probably tune in on the second half.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm very excited. So the first game's actually getting ready to tip off here in about 10 minutes. So you got anything left before we get out of here?
As always, we just really, really appreciate you guys. I feel like our numbers have just been steadily climbing. We're
Absolutely.
climbing. And I just appreciate it. I was looking over the YouTube today, and just seeing the support. We really do appreciate it, you guys. It's not easy doing this stuff. As my you already know, Cole's the real MVP. I always tell you guys this. Always holds it down. But this is something that we would like to be a lifestyle. Because 9 to 5s ain't it. I know
Do it for
my
the
guy
love of the
knows. You know what I mean, man. But nah, we just appreciate you guys, bro. I love you and I appreciate you. Gonna get all emotional just talking about it, man. But yeah, no, I'm very appreciative of this opportunity and just thank you guys. But I ended off with you, bro.
Yeah, bro. And if you've listened all the way this far and still have not hit that like or that subscribe button,
Shame on you.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm
Like,
just gonna come visit you in your
how
sleep.
you
Wait,
gonna
that sounded crazy.
watch 50 minutes and not hit the subscribe button?
The hell going on?
I don't know. Like, make sure
Let's
you're
just
hitting that subscribe and
scratch
that
out
like if
everything
you've
I just
made it
said.
all the way here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we really do appreciate the love and the support, and I love doing this. This is my absolute dream. This is my dream job. So just keep helping us grow. We got to get that subscribes numbers up. We are on the road to 100.
What Neff
We are
said.
33 away. So please let's make that number smaller next time I see you guys. I love you, flag throwers. I love you, Unk, and we will see y'all next week. Enjoy the madness.